Hi guys. So I just want to talk about World Mental Health Day and mental health, pretty much. World Mental Health Day passed about 2, 3 weeks ago, and I was listening to the radio and I heard a couple different stories about people who have family members with mental health issues. Um, I do too, but that's really not what I want to talk about. I more so want to kind of talk about how mental health can really affect you and your, just overall health. And when you have that, a lot of times that is one of the things that when you go to the doctor, especially if you go to a specialist like I do, I go to the gastric specialist, they will ask you questions in regards to figure out if you are mentally healthy. What they'll do is they try to ask questions like, okay, so what do you do for work? How many hours do you work? Um, do you go to school? Like what are activities that you're involved in? How, things about your social life to get more of an understanding of you and kind of figure out if you are maybe depressed. Because a lot of times what happens is they tend to think that you're depressed or something's just going on and you're just not mentally healthy. And that is why you're physically in pain. And so for a lot of people who have had celiac disease, gluten sensitivity, and a lot of other issues, um, they tend to find out by going to many doctors for years and years and years that people really don't believe that they are sick, really physically sick, and something's wrong with them, and their body is attacking them. And, the doctors end up thinking, oh, it's all in your head. You don't know what you're talking about. Here you go. Just take these little pills and come back in 3 weeks and we'll talk about it again. We're just going to refill you again, kind of thing. And they do that. I went to an appointment and it's a teaching hospital. So I ended up having a nurse practitioner take care of me in one of my appointments. And she pretty much was trying to make it seem like it was completely all in my head, all the pain I was having. And I was looking at her like, come here, let me punch you in the stomach. And then you can decide if this is all in your head or you physically really hurting. But I did not punch her in the stomach. I did not even say that to her. I was just really kind of like, lady, you know what? You're starting to annoy me. I'm ready to leave this appointment because, I've been to all these doctors and I've been to all these doctors' appointments and I've done this at this point for over a year. I've lost all this weight, if you cannot tell. And I'm not about to sit up here and have you make me think that I'm crazy because I know I'm not. So you're not going to make me believe that I'm cuckoo. No, you're just not going to make me believe I'm cuckoo. Something's going on. And so I just didn't even say nothing. I just waited till she came back. She didn't prescribe me no little pills for cuckoo-ness, for depression or nothing like that. She did not give me any pills for pain. She did not do anything. She pretty much was just like, okay, well, just, try not to eat things that you don't feel good when you eat. And, just try not to, feel bad. Maybe just try to be positive. I just walked about the door. I was done with the appointment at that point and I left and I felt like I hope I never had her. I hoped I never had her. Thankfully, after her, I got this really, really sweeter older woman who came and she ended up helping me. I completely enjoyed her. She's the reason why I got a lot more tests done because this woman was super sweet. The woman looked at my file, saw my age, and saw everything that was in my file. And she, usually the nurse comes and calls you and brings you to the actual room to wait for the doctor. she actually came out there and like called me because she had to make sure that I really was the person that I really was in the file. She had to make sure. She was like, she looked at my age and she was just like, no, can't be. This, she's too young to have these problems, to have these issues with her body, with her stomach. And so I've got to go see that this is correct. This must be a typo. She thought the age was a typo. So she went and physically walked out there to go get me herself instead of like having a nurse get me. And then when she saw that it was me, actually my mom was with me that day for that appointment. So she thought that the patient was my mother at first. And then I walked up first, and then she realized, she's like, okay, so who's Patricia? And I was like, me. And then she was like, oh, okay, so it's not a typo in the file. And I was like, nope, not a typo. It really is me. And she's like, okay, I just had to make sure because you're kind of young to be having these issues. And I was like, girl, I know. So I'm really thankful to have never had the cuckoo lady again who thought I was crazy and everything was in my head. And I know there's plenty of people that they deal with that all the time. Doctors literally tell them, hey, it's all in your head. And here, just take these little white pills, these little blue pills, and you're going to be feeling real great and grand and wonderful. And then all the problems and pain going to go away because usually you don't feel any happier because really you weren't depressed. You weren't even having any issues. And two, the pain doesn't go away because the pain's not the pain is not because of depression. It's not because of that. So those two things they don't link. Duh. Okay. But before I even, got government assisted health care and had to go through all of that and even started going to this doctor and these doctors and all that stuff, I ended up going to another clinic that I had found a clinic, started going to them, and went to this clinic. And they were really cool. Like, they were really cool. You just paid your little cash, you saw your little doctor, you know what I'm saying? They did everything for you. They're really cool. Nice woman, African doctor. She was really, really cool. I liked her. She's real nice. But, she made a few little mistakes that caused me little issues. And, one of them that I felt was just like, okay, really? You going that route with it? Was when she decided to tell me that she felt like maybe I was just depressed. Maybe I wasn't really in as much pain as I thought I was. Maybe I really wasn't, maybe the headaches weren't really as bad as they were. Maybe, the pain that I was telling her wasn't as bad as it was. So all these different pains that I started feeling, all these different problems I started having that had started, because when I went to see her, the pain had just happened. It had just happened within a month. And it had only been going on for like a month and a half at that point. And I had been seeing her. And then more issues came up that started associating with my stomach. Now, mind you, she put me on antibiotics to take care of another problem. Now, from things that I've read, antibiotics can mess up certain things in your stomach that naturally occur that then can lead to other situations like small bacterial overgrowth and other things that throw off the balance in your stomach because you took medication to treat something else that can then throw off the balance in your gut, which then can cause you to become sick in that way. I did read about that. So I'm not saying that she caused me to become sick. Not saying that she caused me to become sick in my gut, but I am saying that I have read that there are links. Okay. because she was giving me all these steroid packs and antibiotics and stuff like that to take care of other problems that I came in there originally for. And then I started to develop the issues with the stomach, and I started to get sick that way and started to share that with her. And then, that led to her just thinking I was constipated, which I wasn't. Okay, let me tell you, that turned out really bad. That's another story, another time. But later on, she put it that I was probably just depressed, and she prescribed me those little white pills in the bottle. Okay? I was really highly kind of annoyed by it, because I thought to myself, honey, I'm not depressed. If I'm depressed, it's because I don't feel well, and I want to figure out what's going on, because this ain't right, and this is like all happening out of nowhere, and I just don't understand why this is happening all of a sudden. Now, yes, we could have sat up here and been like, oh, well, yeah, your father had passed away, so that's what you're still dealing with. You had got robbed at gunpoint at your last job, so that's what you're still dealing with. Yeah, you were in a relationship, a really long relationship, and it ended, so that's what you're still dealing with. We could have put it all on all of that stuff. Yes, we could have, and said, boo, I am depressed, and I done brought all this pain on myself. But no, I was not going to put that on me. I was not going to sit up here and say that I was depressed and it was all these different things. I never even told the doctor about any of those things. And I never ever believed that I was depressed for 1 minute, ever. I have such a wonderful group of people, family, friends, support systems, just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people in my life that love me and have always loved me. Okay. And they have helped me through all of those situations, through thick and thin, through every single time that, when I got in a car accident, people were there to help me. And I literally could barely move my body. People were there to help me, because even though I got in this car accident, I still had to go. I still was going to school. So I was bringing pillows to class to try to be comfortable while I sat in class, and people were still helping me through that. You know what I'm saying? It was just crazy. So, people have helped me with that. People have drove me around when I didn't have my car. People have, helped me when my father passed away. People helped, when every situation has happened. People have been there, friends, family, just everyone have always been there. I've just felt so much love and support, even, from Facebook, everywhere. So I never would think that I'm depressed. No, baby, I'm not depressed. So I took the little white pills home. I took them for the month that I had them. Did I feel any different? No. Was I still in pain? Yes, I was still in pain. The pain actually increased. The pain in my stomach actually increased. The headaches were still very intense, to the point that I was having vision problems. I mean, it was so bad. It was so bad at that point. It got really bad, that I think around that point is when I ended up going to the hospital, to the emergency room and everything. So, sometimes you just really need to stand up for yourself. When you know that you're okay mentally, you gotta say, hey, I'm mentally healthy. And it's physical. But you have to also remember that mental health does affect physical health. So make sure you're mentally healthy, as well as physically healthy, as well as spiritually healthy, because they all coincide with each other, and they make you the most healthiest person that you possibly can be. Have a healthy day, guys.